Scored by Ty Laura Adams. Favorite memory of Greenwood baseball, the 2023 team and all the success they have achieved together this year. Harrison is going to continue his education and career at Seminole State in Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, number 4, Harrison Adams. And now number 1, Dawson Holt, escorted by Keith and Hallie Holt. Favorite memory of Greenwood baseball, the success of this team and all the moments spent together with his friends and coaches. Dawson is undecided right now on his plans after graduation. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Dawson Holt. Our next senior, number 2, Baylor Hossley, escorted by Richard and Macon Hossley. Favorite memory of Greenwood baseball, going to Gulf Shores for spring break. Baylor plans on attending the University of Arkansas Fort Smith and studying mechanical engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2, Baylor Hossley. Next senior, number 9, Hunter Houston, escorted by Scott and Allison Houston. Favorite memory of Greenwood baseball, eating with the team after home games. Hunter will attend the University of Arkansas and major in business. Ladies and gentlemen, number 9, Hunter Houston.
I like to hear that.
Our next senior, number 14, Aiden Kennan, escorted by Jeff Kennan and Terrence and Sally Wilson. Favorite memory of Greenwood baseball, being able to compete for a conference championship tonight. Aiden is going to continue his education and career at Arkansas Tech University. Ladies and gentlemen, number 14, Aiden Kennan. Next senior, number 27, Weston Bashir, escorted by Kevin and Ramona Bashir. Favorite memory of Greenwood baseball, getting the walk-off hit against Mountain Home a few weeks ago. Weston has not decided a college but wants to study business. Ladies and gentlemen, number 27, Weston Bashir. We also want to take the time to recognize our 2 managers, Lily Durbin and Megan Papagiorgio. Lily will be attending Ouachita Baptist and majoring in communication sciences and disorders. Her favorite memory was going to state for sophomore year. Megan will be attending the University of Arkansas to pursue a degree in interior architecture and design. Her favorite memory was beating Mountain Home. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Greenwood Bulldog baseball class of 2023.
There. Well, Poopy, we'll try it again to win a conference title. Go. I like that. Yeah. Fantastic.
Hey, Ty. Well, we welcome you back to Greenwood, Arkansas. 5A West Conference Championship. Game 2 here for all the marbles. Bulldogs could have clinched the 1 seed with a win in Game 1. Couldn't seal the deal, and the Panthers win in extra innings 5-3. Both teams come in here now 12-1 in conference play, and it's a winner-take-all for the 1 seed in the state tournament next week at Marion. Just so you know, if the Bulldogs win here and get the 1 seed, they will play at 3 o'clock on Thursday. The loser of this game will play at 12:30 on Thursday. So it'll be a Thursday affair one way or the other. Just matters of the 1 or 2 seed on which time it will be. The Lady Bulldogs win Game 1 in softball, and so they've clinched the 2 seed. They'll be at 12:30 on Thursday. So hoping these Bulldogs can win here, if nothing else, so we don't have to be on top of each other as far as game times go. And can watch both teams play next week at Marion. Greenwood 18-6 coming in here overall into this Game 2, 12-1 in conference. Greenbrier, guess what? 18-6, 12-1. So identical records for these two teams. Now, if you look at it just up front, Greenwood, you think would have an advantage here. They've got their number 2, maybe a 1A ace going in Grant Carnes. The Panthers are running out a kid named Garrett Martin, who has seen limited action. They had a player that was ejected last week in the conference game, and I'm assuming he either didn't have a game between now and then to sit out, or he has been removed from the team. I've heard rumors of both. However, he's not pitching. He's their number 2 guy, this Griffin kid.
We would have set the last game, too, the first game.
That's
1.
right, exactly.
So
You're exactly right. So he's obviously didn't make the trip up here. So it's Carnes versus Garrett Martin. He was a lefty. We saw him getting loose. So should be a fun second game here. Let's see if the Bulldogs can take care of business. Grant Carnes will meet Paxton Flagg, who is their catcher, to lead off for the Greenbrier Panthers. Still black tops with Panthers in royal blue cursive trimmed in white. Royal blue numerals trimmed in white, front and back. White trousers for the Panthers, and the first one from Carnes is upstairs to Flagg, ball 1.
And congratulations, right fielder. If the wind wasn't enough first game, now you got to deal with the wind and the sun directly in your face.
Exactly. This one's lifted in the air to center, where Mitchell resides. He's drawn the bead in shallow center, out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 out for Mr. Carnes. Skaggs out in left field in Game 2. It'll be Bircher in right. Usual suspects up in the infield. Pashears at third. Harrison Adams at short. Doc Holtz at second. And Pet Pettigrew is over at first base. Hosley's the battery mate for Grant Carnes, who's up on top for the Bulldogs. The sophomore comes in here 7-0 and a called strike to the left-handed batting Ty Ruby. He's their left fielder. Scored 2 runs, I believe, in Game 1, which was the difference in the ball game. Carnes brings the 0-1 home, swing and a miss.
We talked about how Carnes gets better at pitching. He's not a thrower. He's not a guy that just goes and he pitches. You'll see him mix his looks up. His timing will mix up. He throws 3 pitches, all for strikes. He really thinks he's methodical and a surgeon up on that mound.
A little breaking stuff stayed upstairs for ball 1. Paul Cates behind the dish here in Game 2. Rogers down the third baseline. The Hackett Flash, Mike Durham over at first base. Here's the 1-2 from Carnes. Swing and a miss, and there's 2 down.
Excellent job. And we talked about the emotion side of it. You know, Greenbrier riding high.
Yep.
You beat Greenwood Game 1.
Yep.
Well, Greenwood knew all they needed was a split. I don't think it bothered him. You can just be around the demeanor of the kids and everything. They were eating their cheeseburgers. It was a loss, but I don't think they thought it was the end of the world.
2 down here for Runsick, and Jack rips one out to left. Guess who? Skaggs on his horse. No problem. Wow. How about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitches for Carnes in the first inning? They go good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Top of the first. No score. Dogs coming to bat. It'll be Holt, Adams, and Carnes. We'll take a quick break. Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. 30 if you got it.
And this will be huge if you can get to Harvison. You can get to Harvison and get through. You've got guys with limited action. Who?
Commander and Russellville 9-9, top 6.
Wow.
Sheesh. We welcome you back to Greenwood Bulldog Diamond. Garrett Martin, a crafty lefty up on top for the Panthers. And Keith, you got some numbers for their starting pitcher?
Yeah, Martin. He's got a 4.57 ERA, giving up 14 hits in 9.2 innings. He's given up 6 earned runs, has 11 walks with only 6 Ks, which what that tells me is he's around the plate. He's not going to be overpowering. He's going to rely on a lot of soft contact. And, you and I talked just a few seconds ago. You got to knock this guy out early. You got to get to the bullpen. And I think Greenbrier's probably got the same road to win this game as well. You got to get through Carnes. You got to try to knock him out early. Well, you and I both know that's a tall task. Greenwood, if they're going to hit the ball, they need to do it early. They don't need to wait till the second and third inning. And I think if Greenbrier knows that their best pitcher, isn't here, one of their best 2-game pitcher is not here, then you could probably get to them a little bit mentally and say, well, look, we don't have the same guys we're usually running out here, and you'll start finding high school kids go that route pretty often.
Middle of the first inning, and we're getting loose here. I see an ambulance pulling up over at the softball diamond. I hope everybody's okay. Looks like the game is still going on, so the marching band refused to yield over there, so whoever's needing some medical attention, I hope they're okay over at the softball diamond. Here's Doc Holt now, Greenwood's second baseman.
Well, he said he had it figured out between games. He's ready to go. He's been up there, and he's been up and down. We just need to be up these last couple weeks.
Martin's first one from the left. He's high and outside for ball one to Dawson Holt. Holt, the senior. We honored the seniors between games. We'll run through the list of seniors here as we go through the game here. This one's in the air. It's in play. Looking for the Bermuda Triangle. Right fielder's drawing a bead, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. That is Harbison out there.
Man, Dawson's not going to be consistent. You see him change his swing. He keeps, but when he misses, that's where he pops up. I guarantee you half of his last at-bats have been popped up to first base or right side.
Well, here's Harrison Adams now, Greenwood shortstop. Another senior. And Martin kicks and fires. That's upstairs to Adams, ball 1. Carnes on deck. Pettigrew, if Carnes can extend the inning. Martin kicks and fires, and that's upstairs again. Adams looking at 2-0. Martin working on the third base side of the rubber up there on top of the mound. And here comes the 2-0. This one's to the 5-6 hole. Shortstop backhands, though, and couldn't dig it out at first. Adams will round and head to second. Scattered the coaching staff over there up against the dugout, and Adams will get to second base, no problem.
Catcher did a good job of backing up, but he was too close to first base. He should have been more towards the dugout because if you miss a ball, that's where you're going to pick it up anyway. So he had to go after the ball a little bit. Catcher backed up the throw, threw it to second. Harrison there easily. The shortstop did a great job of getting rid of the ball. All he had to do was make a decent throw.
And I thought it was kind of going to get through, but it turned out the hop wasn't as hot as I thought it was. It's good play. We talked about it in game 1, Keith. They were super clean defensively. Here's an early error. Bulldogs got to capitalize. Here's Grant Carnes now, Greenwood's pitcher here in game 2. And the sophomore digs in from the right side. Martin kicks and fires, and that's a called strike. Inside black.
I like scoring early and often, and you've got a plethora of seniors here. These guys want to finish strong. You want to put something up there you can come back and see years from now that you affected what's on that wall out there.
And Carnes had to get out of the way of that one. That was Plunk City coming up. And Keith, the air on the throw, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Sometimes you see the first baseman get that, and I always hate that.
It would have had to been a great pick on him.
Right. 1 ball, 1 strike to Grant Carnes. He goes upstairs and hits this one a mile high. Will it get out of play? It did not, but the first baseman had no room in his own dugout over there, and it's a free out, if you will.
Did he misjudged it a little bit. He went over and found the side, but it actually hit in fair territory where he probably could have made that catch.
Well, it didn't hit in fair territory, but it hit inside the fence.
Yes, inside the fence.
Right. Yeah, he could have just planted out there on that.
Inbounds in foul territory.
Thank you. He was in bounds. So Carnes has new life and got to make them pay. We talked about that in the first game. Gave him new life, and it always turns into a base hit, and that hit sure did. Here's the 1-2 to Grant Carnes.
Fastball coming.
Martin kicks and fires,
Nope.
and off speed got him swinging a miss. So there's 2 down now. Here's Brady Pettigrew.
And I don't know. It looked like to me, and I thought fastball because it looked like Harrison might have had the signs,
Right?
and was telling because anytime you see the runner stick his arm out afterwards, usually that tells you. And usually, because he sees out there now he's got his hands down.
And that's an off speed that's high and away a little bit. Ball 1.
So Carnes may have something to say to Harrison for crossing him up. Found out there was a grandpa out there that kind of had a spell that they're looking on out in the stands.
Okay, thank you. 1 ball, low, 2-0 now to Pettigrew. Pettigrew came into today batting .388, and they throw over at a delayed steal, and Adams is cut down, caught stealing for out number 3 over at third base. Well, he got me looking down to my book, and to no avail. Well,
yeah, can't make the first or third out at third base, especially with Pettigrew when your best hitter's up.
so the Bulldogs leave no one on base. There was 1 error, no runs. Well, first inning in the books. We will head to the top of the second inning, but not after I tell you about our Grand Slam sponsors: Freedom Roofing, Mr. Keith Holt; ABC Signs and Printing, Crystal Moore; Adams Health and Wellness, Ty and Laura Adams; J&H Automation Engineering, Mr. Richard Hosley; Craig Gigrich, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there; MSG Waste Services, Heath Borum; Scott N. Branton Architects, Top Notch Roofing; Duck's Body Shop, where they love big hits when it comes to Greenwood Bulldog baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. When you get in an accident or catch a foul ball off the quarter panel, call Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield. 479-928-5516. The place to go to get your ride looking right. Duck's Body Shop. We appreciate the Carson family over there in Mansfield. 928-5516. West Fraser Lumber in Mansfield, proud to support Greenwood Bulldog Athletics. Thank you to the Travis family over in Mansfield. Want to thank Colton Steakhouse for the pregame meal for the Greenwood Bulldog baseball team. And we'll go up and catch a rain check next time if you're listening, Mark Dean. Midwest Mariucci sponsored our grill sponsor this year down at the concession stand. Mr. Morgan doing the Lord's work down there, whipping up burgers and brats. And Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction since 1978, licensed and insured. 831-9309, a 1972 grad member of that state final Greenwood Bulldog baseball team. 831-9309. And here we go in the top of the second, and Carson Zachary, who's the designated hitter here in Game 2, swings and misses at some high heat from Grant Carnes. A righty-righty matchup. It's an 0-1 count. Here it is to Zachary. Over but low, 1-1. Tim Terry, Keith Hope, glad to have you aboard here on this nightcap. For all the marbles, both teams 12-1. Winner of this gets the 1 seed in the conference championship outright. Carnes brings it home. It's chopped towards the Bulldogs dugout. And Jackson Cole, a nice play over there, back into Carnes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carson Zachary. And Carnes kicks and fires. And this one's fouled out of play the other side.
You know, games can be won or lost early in the game. You know, first, second. We've seen that happen before. Greenwood's got to shut them down and go put some runners on base and score early, in my opinion, if you want to take care of business here against Greenbrier.
Carnes brings it in. That's a ball, 2-2. Here comes kicks and fires. That was way upstairs. Full count now to Carson Zachary. Close at third on Adams being cut down there as we got a look at the replay. Here's a 3-2 to the DH for Greenbrier, Zachary. And he rips this one in the air, but it's hooking, and it's going to be a foul ball. It would have been off the plantation, but a foul ball for a long strike.
Yeah, and again, we talked about that inside fastball. It's hard for young kids to not come around it. He did a good job, but it didn't hook as much as it usually does when they come around the ball. That ball was hit well.
Yes, very well. Do it again. Here's the 3-2. And the walk. Leadoff base runner for the Panthers. Let's see if they leave him out to run. They did in game 1. I don't know why they would now as the DH.
Well, they can't get him as the DH.
Gotcha. So this is Cody Kennan now. He's their center fielder. Righty-righty matchup again. Carnes up on top and comes home. They squared a bunt, and it was a ball outside. 1 ball count. Bashir charging at third. Pettigrew holding the runner. It'll be up to Carnes to get over and field this ball if they try to continue with the sacrifice. Grant's ready up top. And here they throw over. Got him. Oh, boy. I thought he
dropped the ball.
him. Oh, he did?
Yep, he dropped the ball,
Tough
but it was
one
close. The batter did show bunt when he moved, so look for the side. Hey, if you're Bashir, you got to see that, start moving, and go ahead and get up there.
Right now, yep.
Get up there, young man.
1 ball count. Carnes up on out of the stretch, and now he'll come set. And they don't bunt that time. Ball got loose from Hosley, but he knocked it down enough to stay in front of him. A 2 ball count.
Makes you wonder with Bach, being the manager in here. I guess he's calling signs over there. He's calling signs from the dugout.
Well, I guess the Bulldogs had figured something out because they sure didn't have Bashir charging that time, and he did not square. Here's the 2-0. No bunt. And this is laced to center. Can Mitchell get there? Certainly did, and a chance to double off the runner. Here comes a throw, and it gets to the bag. Not in time. Woo, baby. I think had he hit a cutoff there, and Adams could have got to him, but a nice play either way from Mitchell out in center. Sweet Moses.
Even if he just gathered his legs and used, that was all arm throw. If he gathers his legs and takes a step, he probably has enough arm to get it there.
So there's 1 down now for Garrison Blacklaw, another right-handed bat. He's their third baseman. And the ball almost got to him. He was having to run right beside it as it bounced into Pettigrew's bag. A really good shot from Mitchell from that deep, right on the money. Just about a half second late, and that's low for ball 1. Runner at first. That's a leadoff walk here in the top of the second. No score for the 5A West Championship here, Greenwood, Greenbrier. There's a ball just foul outside third base. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Blacklaw. I guess he got the win in game 1.
That's right.
For Greenbrier, and Mitchell takes the loss. If you're hoping Aiden Kennan stays undefeated, well, I say that. I have to go back and check on that. I don't know if Kennan had runners on when he was pulled. He might be responsible for those runs. Swing and a miss. Well, no, that was in the 7th inning. They tied it back up. You're right.
So
it was Mitchell's loss. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Garrison Blacklaw. Carnes up on top, checks the runner at first, and comes home. Slide step, and he just reached out and tapped that one. It stays foul. Pettigrew fields it in foul ground. Runner will have to come back. 1 out here in the top of the second, no score. And asked Carnes if he needed a new ball. He said he's good.
He's good to go.
That one's got a good scuff on it when he hit the dirt there by home plate. Give him a little extra on that breaking pitch.
This is the time. Ask me to finish this in a second.
All right. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs, go ahead.
This is the time when the 3-man crew probably hurt us. If there's a 2-man crew and he makes that call at third, he may look safe. He probably has a better angle when Harrison slid in.
Yep.
He was on top of it, but he's still kind of behind the. It might be one time that it actually hurt us having 3 people out there.
That's a good point. 2-2. Just missed outside. Full count now to Blacklaw. 1 out here in the top of the second. Carnes up top. And he'll come home with it. And this one's lifted into center. And Mitchell says, I've got it. He came in and was playing a little shallow. Boy, I would have too. He got a chance maybe to double him off again. And Blacklaw is the second fly ball to center out. F8 if you're scored at home. Here's Drake Carden now, their first baseman.
And the thing is, you probably don't get him, but what you tell everybody for Greenbrier where they're running, that you better be careful and stay close to your base because we're not afraid to, to throw at you. The catcher should have been kind of drifting, flow of the game, drifting that way to back up the throw. You got nothing to worry about. Either you get him or you scare him to death.
Yep. 2 down now, and here's Drake Carden. And that ball's outside. He checked his swing just enough. Ball one.
Just think about it. It's like in any sport. The team that has the least fear, like they're not afraid to make mistakes. They're not thinking about what bad's going to happen. Those teams are tough to beat.
This ball's hit and fouled out of play, though, right side, slicing. Counts even at 1-1 now to Drake Carden, their first baseman. It's another righty-righty matchup. 2 outs here, top of the second. Panthers with a runner at first. That's a leadoff walk. Carnes kicks and fires and some chin music. Carden got out of the way, 2-1. 2 fly balls to center field for the Panthers here in the top of the second. Carnes peers into Hostley. He's got the sign. Now comes set. And here it is. Upstairs, 3-1.
Carnes just can't get comfortable up there on the mound.
Nope, looks that way. Brewer and his boys peering anxiously from the third base dugout. Coach Brewer looking for a conference championship in year number 1 here at Greenwood. 3-1 is fouled straight back. Full count.
And you got to think, he comes in here and he was blessed with some great arms, but he had to get him on the right path. You can have the best team in the world. If you're not on the right path, then I just think that he was the guy for the job to get us on that path to have a chance. Now you're talking about the last game, a chance to win a conference championship, going to state. I like our chances.
Here's a 3-2. They throw over and back. No tag is Carden.
Now
I beg your pardon, Zachary.
You want to see what kind of Coach Brewer is? Let's me and you have a conversation this time next year when you lose your third baseman, your shortstop, your second baseman, your catcher, and 2 of your top 4 pitchers.
Yep. And I bet they'll be ready. And it's ball 4.
And they will. I mean,
right.
They've got a plan. He's like a business where he's got a business plan to where this is where we want to be and this is how we get there. And he's got the youth and the parents that are great. The community's behind him. And when you have that, you kind of unlimited. It's going to be nice to see what he can do with what he's been given.
Here's Caleb Harvest in their right fielder. A righty-righty matchup with runners at first and second now for Greenbrier and 2 outs. Upstairs for Carnes, and he's getting a little loose here the last couple of batters.
You see he's leading, where Aiden was missing with his off-speed away glove side, he's missing arm side, towards the batter.
And everything's been a little high, too, Keith.
Yes, high and inside.
That one's right down the middle and lifted to right. Bircher's drawn the bead. No problemo for Austin Bircher. And the Bulldogs get around a couple of walks from Carnes here in the second. They left 2 on base. And we're still scoreless through 1.5. Bulldogs coming to bat. We'll take a quick break. It's Greenwood Baseball on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. 30 if you got it. I still hadn't found that fly in my Diet Dr. Pepper yet. But I'm sure dreading it. All right, 10 seconds. We welcome you back to Greenwood Bulldog Baseball Field. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, 5A West Conference Championship on the line. Winner take all right here at Game 2. No score. We go to the bottom of the second. Petty, that's Brady Pettigrew, Skaggs, and Weston Pashir due up here for the Bulldogs. 4, 5, and 6 in the lineup.
Well, I know Brewer feels like, pressure is a privilege. To be in a game to where you have to, it's winner-take-all game. To him, it's just a game, and it's a privilege to even be in this. It's not, there's no such thing as pressure unless you just put it upon yourself. And Brewer's, like I said, and I don't know, and you and I have not always agreed with every coach in every sport that's went through Greenwood and other coaches. And I'm not just talking him up because it's hard to find that coach that has a passion and a vision and then follows it, and you can see it. A lot of times me and you are like, well, what was that coach thinking? But you can see what his vision is, and as long as it's about making good, productive young men, as we see Petty take a strike, swinging, I like the direction we're going.
Absolutely. He's surrounded himself with a good staff, too, over there, especially including his volunteer assistants, bring a little swagger back to this Bulldog baseball program. 1-1 now to Pettigrew.
Those guys are crazy.
Mm-hmm. There's one right back up the box. Leadoff single for Pettigrew. He stays hot, 2 for 4 in game 1, and came into today batting .388. So he's now 3 for 5. That's 600. So he's maybe bumped his average up.
And that's why you never make the last out at third base, because you're still in scoring position there. Center fielder's in a little bit, but at least you have a chance to score.
True.
Where if you get that guy out with Pettigrew up to bat, you just. And again, I don't know what Harrison saw or what he thought, or if Coach gave anything. It was just bad.
Here's Skaggs now, our left fielder. They throw over, and Pettigrew's not going anywhere. Garrett Martin on the bump. We didn't know who was going to start. Lefty's in there. And he was pretty efficient in the top of the first. That one's upstairs to Skaggs for ball 1.
What grade this kid in, the pitcher? What grade?
Oh, the pitcher, Garrett Martin.
What grade?
Senior.
Which one?
He's a senior.
Senior, okay.
I said 12, sorry.
I thought you said sophomore.
I did too. I was like,
Hey, Skaggs up the box. Second base couldn't get there, and we go station to station. Another single for Mr. Skaggs. And better late than never for these two. Get them guys going. Of course, we talked about Pettigrew okay in game 1. But situational hitting, besides Triple H's pinch hit in the 7th, Bulldogs didn't get any timely hitting. But this right here, I would say, is timely hitting, leading off the second.
well, and I'd be shocked if you didn't see a bunt here, just because you got Aiden Kennan, you got a senior batting, you got a senior on deck. Put 2 in position to score. I know you want to play for a big inning, but you want to also put pressure on Greenbrier by scoring first.
And there's the bunt squared by Bashir. Charge at the corner. Bunt's fouled back behind the plate.
Yeah, he was taking off. You got to, and this time here, if you do the same thing, you got to make sure. Of course, now they showed their cards. Lefty's going to fall this way, but it's still a tough throw to first. Now you got to kind of push it to the third baseman, make the third baseman field it.
Absolutely. The first base, Carden was on top of the plate.
When you see where the shortstop is, if you could bunt it towards the flamingo sign out there, it would be perfect if you could push it that way.
Pink flamingo.
You might even score a run from it.
Those were old school days. Here's Bashir. Squared to bunt. Charge at the first base. And that plunked him. Sweet Moses. Now, here's what we're going to say. Did he pull back on with the ball with the bat? That's what the coach is probably going to come ask.
Yeah, they're going to ask, and I don't know. Hopefully they won't ask Rogers out in
I don't know if he pulled back or not, Keith.
I couldn't see. He was in the way because it was right at him.
I think he still had his bat out there.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Then why wouldn't you ask? I guess you're going to ask Rogers. Nope.
Gave it to him. Base. Good. Well,
good call.
And it may have been. It looked to me like he still had his bat out there. But
Balk is fired up too. Look at him. He went out there. He stomped out there. Didn't have not much to say.
No. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the second. Bulldogs in business. Aiden Kennan to the plate. The meeting's over, so Bulldogs have to break up their meeting quickly with all the base runners. And the daddy in a huge spot. Senior. Started game 1. Pitched a pretty good ball game. Had 9 Ks.
Looked really good. Looked like he was trying to win a conference championship.
Yeah.
Just unfortunately went into extra innings and the ball didn't bounce our way.
He's the DH here, and he's got bases loaded. Nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. Martin back behind his glove. He's coming home with it. And here it is. And it's in there at the knees for a called strike to Aiden Kennan.
This is where you might see a pass ball. You get a guy with a lot of walks. It's a little bit wild.
He brings it home. Kennan rips this one out to left field. It's down for a base hit, and it's going to score 2. Pettigrew had to wait just a second. They put the brakes on Skaggs, so it'll only score 1, but it's an RBI single for the daddy, Aiden Kennan. Oh, baby.
Man, and great base running. Pettigrew goes back and tags.
Mm-hmm.
Skaggs is reading it, and actually almost a third because he's reading it down. Everybody did what they were supposed to. If Coach wanted to kind of force the issue, he could have tried to score Skaggs. It would have been close, but everybody did what they were supposed to on that. We didn't see that the first 3 weeks of the season.
No. You're exactly right, Keith. And people probably get mad at us for preaching about that, but that's a perfect example of the growth you've seen here in year one, just of this through the season with Coach Brandon Brewer. And now here's Austin Bircher, our left fielder here in game 2. I beg your pardon, he's in right field.
I'm not gonna
called strike to Birch.
You know, we talked about Martin. You know, he looks like a dude right now. He's throwing strikes.
Yep.
He's working fast.
This one's in the air, not
Infield
deep
fly.
enough, though. It is infield fly. Second base is backed into it, and he'll make the catch right on the edge of the grass, but the infield fly was in order, and so Bircher's out. And that's the first out.
Well, if you're Greenbrier, you're hoping for a double play. You're hoping for something, a ground ball to short or second, maybe back to the pitcher. You know, if you're Greenwood, you want something deep. Get one more run, hit it deep, and then see what happens. I mean, we'll take a base hit. Don't get me wrong.
Here's Mitchell now, our center fielder, and that one bounced in for ball 1 to Austin. Righty-lefty matchup. The pitcher, left-handed Garrett Martin.
And you got to affect his timing. He's wanting to work so quick
I
that
agree.
the guys aren't getting set in the box.
And that's a swing and a miss. I agree with you. Home plate blue almost didn't get ready a couple of times.
Yes, he's almost working too quick.
Here's a 1-1 now to Mitchell. Martin up and ready. He'll kick and fire for Greenbrier. Upstairs, 2-1 now for Mitchell. Time to set dead red here, Keith. Bases loaded, still one out, bottom second. One across already for Greenwood. Here it comes. In there for a called strike. Wow. Mitchell already up and ready, just working lightning speed up there on top. Here's the 2-2. And that's low and full count now to the Greenwood center fielder, Austin Mitchell. Holt's out on deck. Hopefully he get a chance here, barring a double play ball of some sort. Full count, bases loaded, one out. Here it is to Austin Mitchell. And he fouls it right back at us.
You had that one. That's good.
I was going to catch it.
Speaking of personal growth,
Yeah, thank you. You're exactly
you would
right.
have flinched. You've come a long way.
I've arrived. This one's fouled out of play. Boy, this guy's working at
He's working too quick. I mean,
yeah, lightning fast. 3-2. Here it comes to Mitchell. This one's in the air, but not deep enough either. First baseman into foul ground. And new life. That ball hit foul. Barely, thank goodness, but it's a free out for the Bulldogs. Hit right by the first base. Almost fair.
I thought it was fair, but then you're in a quandary because
Yeah.
they didn't call infield fly, and it should have been if it's in play fair territory. So they didn't call. You can't go back and recall it.
Right.
That would have
Agreed.
been interesting.
Yes. Full count again.
It hit fair.
Right. Mitchell hits this one in the area. It's going to be deep enough to plate Skaggs and a sac fly to left field. The catch is made. The tag's clean. Here comes the throw, and it's cut, and Skaggs will score, and a sacrifice fly for Austin Mitchell. That's good baseball.
It's productive at bat. That's all you wanted. You know, if the first base catches that, it's not a productive at bat. That's bad.
Right.
You know, now Dawson with 2 on and 2 outs, all you want to do is hit it hard. If it gets through and finds a hole, great. You're just trying to hit something, hopefully to right center gap right here.
Holt flied out to right field his first time up to start the bottom of the first. It's 2-0 Bulldogs with first and second. Here's Doc Holt. Garrett Martin kicks and fires. That's upstairs, ball 1. Brewer with some last-minute instructions for Holt, Greenwood second baseman. Was a doubles machine there for a minute through the middle of the season, Holt was. This one's up and over the top for strike 1. Straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dawson Holt. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Bulldogs lead 2-0. Like to see one more at least. Here it comes from Martin. And Holt knocks this one to right field. Right fielder has to run back. He's drifting and makes the catch again out in deep right field. But the Bulldogs made a little hay there. They left 2 on base. There was 3 hits in the inning. They scored 2 runs. Lead 2-0 here in the conference championship battle. Game 2 of this twin bill. Winner take all for the 5A West and the 1 seed next week at State. Bulldogs lead 2-0 after 2 innings over Greenbrier. Quick break. It's Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. 30. Did y'all win? Yes. What was the score? Bam! I saw that, but I wasn't sure if it was the boys or the boys play first. Yeah. Woohoo! A great day to beat Alma.
Who was it?
We welcome you back to Greenwood Baseball Field. 2-0 Bulldogs lead over Greenbrier. This for the conference championship. Both teams 12-1 on the conference season. Bulldogs a chance to clinch in game one. Couldn't seal the deal. Lost 5-3 in 8 innings. And the Bulldogs up 2-0 here on the Panthers in game two. Nice win for the Bulldogs soccer team. Ben Bashir just snuck in here. So they won 4-3 over Alma. So a win over Alma in any sport is worth its weight in gold. Panthers turn here in the top of the third now. It'll be the 9-hole, Miles Miller. He's their second baseman. 9-1-2 here, Miller, Flagg, and Ruby.
Dr. Smith told me if I couldn't say anything nice to not say anything at all, so I'll just go.
We'll just congratulate the soccer team.
Congrats to the soccer team.
Yeah, that's
did
nice.
Well.
That ball's foul, pulled out to the left, outside left field for strike one to Miles Miller.
There's still that competitiveness with Alma. You know, we talked about it being
yeah.
big in the 80s and stuff. It's still there.
Oh, it's still there. You know,
The kids still feel it.
Well, hopefully. I mean, you know, with them bailing out in football, you worry that it might lose a little bit, but it's certainly still there in the other sports. This one's in the air and out of play.
Have you heard who they've hired for their new basketball coach?
At Alma?
Yeah.
For the girls?
Yeah.
I have not.
I know there's positions opening up all across the River
It's
Valley.
amazing, yeah. I heard about that.
What do we? Our timing. I don't think he liked what Hosley called.
0-2 count to Miller, and Carnes probably wants fastball. It's outside, whatever it was.
Way outside.
And the 1-2 is low. Count even now, 2-2 to Miles Miller. He's their second baseman. 2-2, here it is. Just missed inside black. Full count. Wow. Ronnie Nelson says he's got us tuned in here game two as well. Appreciate it, brother. We got the Hogs game on for sure. Here's a full count, and that's a chopped foul into the netting towards Greenwood's dugout. Still full count to Miles Miller leading off the top of the third for Greenbrier. Winner take all. Lady Bulldogs are up 11-0 in softball. And Carnes misses there in a leadoff walk to their 9-hole batter. So they're going to get a sweep of Greenbrier, and they've already clinched the 2 seed over there in softball. So congrats to Donald Hart, Mike Possage, their first year running the show over there. Coaches, lots of softball knowledge in them two jokers, both good friends of mine. Here's Carnes now, up top of the order, Paxton Flagg. And he fouls that one right back behind him, just kind of chopped it straight into the ground, strike one.
Well, Donald, you know, we played baseball at Tate together. There was, I think there was only 3 of us seniors when we graduated. There's only 3 seniors, me and Donald and Kevin Crafton.
Yeah, wow, what a threesome. Sweet Moses. 0-1 count to Paxton Flagg. He's their catcher. Right-handed bat. Miller at first has a lead. A walk here to start the third. That one bounced in, got through Hosley. Miller will take second easily. Hasn't been Carnes' best stuff here so far in game one. But it's 2-0 lead. Just keep surviving.
In baseball, it's odd. If it was so easy to control your body every time out, then all the great pitchers would be great every time out. And, you know, sometimes your mind can't make your body do the things it wants it to do.
Yeah. 1-1 upstairs. 2-1 now to Paxton Flagg.
And I'm sure Carnes is like, why am I leaving it high? I'm sure he's trying to figure it out as well.
Right. Yep, he's good enough to try it on the run. 2-1. There's a ball laced to left, right at Skaggs. Took about 3 paces in, and then drew the bead out number 1.
Well, that's what you need. You need a little luck where you have to throw a fastball and they hit it hard and it's right to you.
Yep. Well, here's Ty Ruby now. He's their left fielder. He's been a thorn in our side a bit here in game one for sure. Struck out in the first inning. Runner at second base, Miller, had to stay still on that rocket out towards Skaggs and left. Lights are on here at the park. Carnes kicks and fires. That was fouled straight back by Ruby, strike one. Shadows engulf the entire stadium, or the entire field. Most of them are from Smith Robinson Stadium. The advertising signage or the press box. A little bit of sun peeking through at Pettigrew's feet over at first base. Carnes' face is actually in some sun coming through. Might make it tough on the pitcher. And Ruby went around there and called strike 0-2 now.
Yeah, and all Carnes needs is a couple good at-bats to where he affects what happens to the batter, and I think he'll find his groove. He's not one that's just going to stay in, being wild the entire game.
And that one's over but low for ball one. It's 1-2. 66 degrees right now. It's perfect baseball weather. 74 at first pitch in game one. Not a cloud in the sky all afternoon. Great way to end the regular season conference slate here. Hopefully the Bulldogs can get a victory here and put some numbers on the wall. This ball's hit in the air a mile, but it's pulled way out of play. Foul to the right side from the left-handed hitting Ty Ruby. And they'll do it again.
All right, in the back of that truck.
There's a little bit of activity in Greenbrier's bullpen. I see a kid standing out there.
You think they're just hanging out, or you think someone else is getting loose?
I'm sure someone's getting loose. I mean, you talked about this. It's the
all hands
empty
on
the
deck.
sink. Yeah,
Yep.
Absolutely. 1-2 the count here to Ty Ruby. One out, top of the third, runner at second. Carnes peeks back, comes home. That ball is ripped, foul, just outside the left, about halfway down towards the foul pole on the right side.
He hits the ball hard.
Yes. One and two. Carnes ready up on top. Takes a peek back to second. Checks on Miller. And now comes home. And that ball's fouled back into the netting. Ruby, tough out. This kid's a good batter.
Yeah, I think you almost still have to keep him away. He's still trying to drive the ball to right field. And at least if you can keep him away, maybe he'll hit it off the end of the bat. He's not looking. If he was anywhere in the SEC, they'd have a power shift going to the right side.
14-0 final game two in softball. Lady Bulldogs get the sweep. And a nice opening round conference season for Donald Hart in his first voyage through. The 1-2's inside, 2-2 now to Ty Ruby.
Yeah, they were going for the outside off speed, and Carnes threw it across to the inside. He's just got to do better at hitting his spots.
Paul Cates around to broom the plate a bit. 2-2 count.
Doing some maintenance.
Yeah.
Spring cleaning.
Yeah. If I was behind the net down there, I'd say, finally something you can do, Paul. Here's the 2-2. And just barely missed Ruby. It'll be a full count now inside. He was going to wear it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count, 1 out here, top of the third. Bulldogs up 2-0. Carnes kicks and fires. And Ruby lifts this one to right. Bircher's got to drift back towards the fence. He'll make the catch. A clean tag at second, and the throw comes in. Out number 2. Good
base running. What you're supposed to do if right fielder goes back, you automatic tag from second. Greenbrier's well coached. We talk about Bach, and they've got some players. They got guys that come from Conway. I mean, they had Caden Wallace a few years ago.
And Peyton Wallace's brother.
Yes, they definitely got some baseball players in Greenbrier.
Here's Runcic now 0 for 1, flat out to left. His first time up. And almost got plunked there. That was inside ball 1. Keith Ruby rounded first and headed towards second. I don't know what the shenanigans might be on that, but maybe if my guy throws back that way, just seen a runner, and Bashir got gobbled up on that hot shot. It's going to score a run. Just a rocket right at him. 2 outs. Runcic's on first base. E5.
You're going to see that he lifted his leg up and kind of moved out of the way.
Right,
I mean, he's got to stay in front of that ball. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's a rocket, but that's when you just got to dorn that thing, take a bruise off your chest,
It's
One-
not fun. I mean,
No.
third base is hard.
Yes.
It's the hardest. You're the closest,
Mm-hmm.
to the batter on the pull side, and that guy hit that ball hard.
Yes.
But you got to be ready for those short hops.
Here's Carson Zachary. Fouled the first one off, 0-1. This one's lifted to center. Mitchell's got to run a mile. He's on his horse. No problem for the speedy Austin Mitchell. Wow. Out number 3. A run across for the Panthers. They've cut the lead in half for Greenwood here in the middle of the third. 2-1. Give me a chance to thank Colton Steakhouse for pregame meal of the day. Mr. Mark Dean. I want to thank the Carson family at Duck's Body Shop. They love big hits when it comes to Bulldogs baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. When you get in an accident, call Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield, 479-928-5516. The place to go to get your ride looking right. Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield, 928-5516. West Fraser Lumber in Mansfield, proud to support Greenwood Bulldog Athletics. Our Grand Slam sponsors. More Grand Slam sponsors, Freedom Roofing, Mr. Keith Holt. ABC Signs and Printings, Crystal Moore. Adams Health and Wellness, Ty and Laura Adams. J&H Automation Engineering, Richard Hosley. Craig Gingrich, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. MSG Waste Services, Mr. Heath Borum. Scott N. Branton Architects and Top Notch Roofing. Certainly thank all of those Grand Slam sponsors.
Well, the game changer gave that ball a hit, and maybe me and you we watch so much baseball, and I know you do too, because we talk about it even on the weekends.
Right.
Razorbacks. I guess in high school, that ball being hard hit, I guess you don't expect that to be a given play.
I bet you Weston would tell you he should have got that.
Well, that's what I would be interested to see what Coach Brewer thinks. You know, what does he think? Because a lot of it is, look, we prepared for that. If the coach hasn't prepared for it, then I get it.
Adams' first pitch swinging fouls this one out of play here in the bottom of the third. It's 2-1 Greenwood. See if the Bulldogs can get that run back. Adams, Carnes, Pettigrew. Adams reached on an error first time up and got caught stealing over at third to end the first inning. Martin back to work, and that one's outside from the left-handed senior for Greenbrier. 1 ball, 1 strike. In behind the glove, he's working quickly up on top. And Martin brings it home. That's outside. 2-1.
I would make this pitcher, if you've looked at his stats and stuff and know that he has, 11 walks in 9 innings, is be patient.
Mm-hmm. There's one lifted to center. Going to get down for a base hit. 143-foot hit
That's right.
for Harrison Adams.
That's all it takes.
And here's Grant Carnes.
Credit to Harrison doing making the adjustments early in the season, struggled,
Mhm.
and also
Yes.
credit Brewer for not giving up. I mean, knowing that you had a senior, he's going to go play at Seminole.
Yep.
He's got skills and stuff. He was just struggling, and a lot of coaches could have buried him or put him at the bottom, and he just waited and was patient, and lo and behold, he's come out of it being one of Greenwood's best hitters.
They throw over. Adams scampers back in. The ball bounced over there, and their first baseman, Carden, did a good job of kind of knocking that one down. No outs here, bottom third. Leadoff single for Harrison Adams. And the first one to Carnes is just inside ball 1.
I think first baseman ought to get saves. I think,
Yeah.
when you get stuff like that, how many saves you get, kind of like a hockey goalie or
Right.
something.
Mm-hmm.
First baseman did a great job on not letting that ball get to right field.
Martin's 1-0's upstairs to Grant Carnes 2-0. Boy, Carnes is so due.
Man, he's due.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I don't like about being up here. I can't find a little pregame speech in the on-deck circle. 3-0 inside.
Yeah, he was going to let that ball hit him. That ball was way inside.
Sometimes you give these kids this little look and a fist pump makes all the difference. 3-0 to Carnes, taking all the way here. And it's upstairs. He walked him on 4 pitches. So the Bulldogs in business.
Confidence is everything, and it's not just baseball. It's here's a for instance. When Peyton was when he was a junior, it may have been when he was a senior, Fortnite was huge.
Mm-hmm.
We would go play every night before a game, and I would make sure I would put the server on Asia or wherever they were asleep or at work so he could win at Fortnite. And he thought he was just the greatest competitor and player carries over. And I know you think I'm kidding.
No.
I'm dead serious. It's when he was winning and he's thinking he's a winner, he carried it out here. And he's like, I'm the best there ever was. And and it's that way with, you're talking about high school kids. You know, if they had a bad day in the classroom, it carries over with their body and emotional status to where maybe it's not going to be the same out here as we see a pitcher coming in here. And who is this?
20.
Harvison?
21? Maybe.
Blacklaw again?
Blacklaw, I bet. Caleb Harbison.
How can they see that from here? It does look like 26.
Harbison. So who went to right field?
Harbison has 23 innings pitched. He's pretty much the third. He's got the third in innings. He's got a 2.7 ERA, giving up 27 hits in 23 innings. 9 of those earned, 9 walks, 15 Ks. Another guy, if you just look at his stats, he's going to be around the plate, probably a little bit better, not as many walks. He's just not overpowering, going to try to pitch to soft contact. So Greenwood, to overcome that, they got to make sure they sit back. They don't rush out and get out front of the ball. They got to look to hit the ball hard to right center. If they're early, still hit it hard to left field. But they can't have soft contact. That's the only way that this guy will beat us is if we go up there and we don't hit the ball hard, or we let a pitcher with very few strikeouts get ahead of us and strike us out.
Well, this is Caleb Harbison pitching. They sent Garrison Blacklaw to right field, and they brought in a new third baseman. And I'm trying to get his number. Greenbrier's numbers on the front of their jerseys are awful close. Looks like a number 11 or a 10.
Gosh, I can't see that dark blue on black.
Caden Brooks. Caden Brooks over at third base now.
I'd like to thank the ladies from Greenbrier up here to help us.
Absolutely.
They ought to have a liaison from every school every time you
Yes.
play to help with name pronunciation. And,
Right.
and they can recognize a lot of stuff before we can.
Bottom of the third, and Pettigrew swings and misses.
I like it. He hits that right center gap. He's got a triple.
2 men on. That's Scott Holland pinch running over there for the pitcher, or courtesy running for Carnes over at first base. Adams is at second. A 1-strike count to Pettigrew. Right-handed pitcher, and this one's in the air. Get out of here. It's back up over the top and out of play. Pettigrew will get another chance at it. 2-1 Bulldogs here, bottom of the third. This game for all the marbles in the 5A West. Outright conference championship and the 1 seed over at Marion next week. Thursday, when the state tournament begins in Marion High School. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Pettigrew's ready. Here comes the 0-2. This is foul back up over the top.
Oh, I think he missed a mistake pitch there.
Mm-hmm.
That pitch looked large.
It will hang it, bang it deal, huh?
It was thigh high.
Harbison up on top.
Again, when you have a pitcher that's not overpowering or got great stuff, you don't worry about him beating you. You got to focus on still hitting it hard.
And there's one to second base, double play opportunity, and a second base bobbles it. They'll only get one, and runners at the corners. As Carnes or Holland actually forced out there, 4-6 at second base. Adams to third. Pettigrew's on with the fielder's choice.
And it looked like the second baseman put his hand in his glove too quick, and the ball hit his bare hand. They're going to check on his bare hand, and that's why he didn't get rid of it. But that definitely goes in Greenwood's favor. Now you got 1 out with a runner at first and third instead of 2 outs with a runner at third. That changes exactly what you may see a drag bunt here. Get a 2-for-1 drag bunt, a safety squeeze, get Pettigrew in scoring position. Bunt for a hit.
So Pettigrew, the first batter to face this new pitcher, Harbison, and he's on with the fielder's choice. They're checking the second baseman's hand. Officials have called the coach out. I don't think they can tell him he's got to come out, but if the kid can't throw, he can't throw.
Well, we've got a second baseman that hasn't been able to throw, and he stays out there. That was a joke. We kid Dawson all the time. Everybody knows, that he had arm surgery. I guess it'll be 2 years in June.
Right.
And, he got back on the mound for the first time at practice the other day, and that was – everybody couldn't believe how well he was throwing. They're like, Dawson, why can't you do that from second to first?
Right. And Miller, that's Miles Miller, the injured Panther. He stays in out there at second base, so he'll get a chance to check out what Braden Skaggs has got to offer. Skaggs singled, scored a run in the second. Continues to stay red hot.
Red hot.
And let's see if he can do it again with runners at the corners. Again, one out now here in the bottom of the third. Bulldogs lead 2-1. Panthers scratched one across in the top half of this inning. Let's see if Skaggs can get the insurance run back. Anything deep to the outfield and went for his head, and he got out of the way. You can wear some, but the ones at the helmet, we're going to have to move out of the way of those.
Move out of the way. This pitcher's really slow to the plate. High leg kick. It's going to be, you see anybody that other than Pettigrew over there, you'll probably see people swapping bases.
1 ball count. And here it comes. Outside 2-0.
This is where it'd be good to delay still, too, to where, it'll eventually be in coach's arsenal to where Pettigrew, as soon as the pitch, he's bouncing, and then takes off, and then it catches everybody off guard.
And this one's lifted in the air, going to be deep enough to score a run. Let's see if the right fielder or left fielder can make the catch. He does. Tag is clean, and Adams will scamper in. Pettigrew will tag and go to second. I like to see that too, Keith. 3-1 now. Bulldogs back up by 2.
Yeah, he knew. I mean, you just got to say you're playing for a conference. That ball's going to be caught. So he conceded it was going to be caught, and he knew the guy was going to throw to his cutoff at home. Pettigrew did a great job at tagging up and getting a second. Now, 2 out base hit, scores 1.
Weston Pashier will come in now. He was hit by a pitch his first time up and was stranded out at second base. Bulldogs have 2 across. Or 1 across, 3-1. They have 2-run lead now. And that's inside to Pashier. Ball 1. Bottom of the third inning. We'll play 7 innings here. There's a 10 after 5 run rule in high school. That'd be nice, too. Here's the 1-0. Pashier swings and misses.
He wish he'd have that one back.
Yep, he was late on it. Night has fallen. No sun at all on the field now. It's all about the bright lights. 1 ball, 1 strike to Weston Pashier. Harbison's up on top for Greenbrier, their second pitcher, and he comes home. I guess that's low. Ball 2.
Don't guess. That was definitely low. Paul's been doing a good job. You don't have to question Paul. If he didn't call it, it was low.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's exactly right. 2-1. Harbison, the righty, kicks and fires. And Pashier rips this one, but it's pulled way foul left. Stays inside the baseball facility, though, so one of the youngsters over on the hill can grab it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Deuce is wild here in the bottom of the third. Bulldogs have got the run back. Greenbrier got him 4 in the top half. It's 3-1 Greenwood. Harbison up on top. Caleb Harbison. And the righty kicks and fires. And that's over but low. Full count now to Weston Pashier. The daddy Aiden Kennan out on deck. Greenwood's DH. If Pashier can extend the inning here. Man at second's Pettigrew. Can Pashier get him home? Here's the 3-2. Rack him up. He'll rack the chainsaw as Pashier watched it go over. And out number 3. A good pitch at the knees from Harbison.
I don't think Coach Brewer liked it.
2 runs on 1 hit for the Bulldogs. They left a man at second. They've left 3 on the afternoon here in game 2. Bulldogs got the run back, though. 3-1. They lead Greenbrier here. This is for all the marbles in the 5A West. Greenwood, Greenbrier. Quick break, Greenwood Sports Center. And the Sports Hog, 103.5. 30 if you got it. Thank you.
Good crowd today, too.
Oh, awesome crowd. It was huge a while ago in game 1. Was that your boy on
Where?
the top row there, black shirt?
No.
Oh. Not top row.
Oh, sitting next to the...
Yeah. We welcome you back to Greenwood Baseball Field. Good crowd here on hand.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, a lot of Greenwood basketball state champion girls roaming around the crowd. Everybody, one Bulldog out here. It's a big family. Coach Chris Young, head football coach over there in the low seats there, front row.
And somebody said that that's kind of the theme right now is one hog up at U of A,
Yeah.
and it's not cliche just to take that and run with it, but it's really one Bulldog. Everybody, Coach Ross said it. It's everybody pulling for everybody because you're not just a baseball player, football. You're a Bulldog.
First pitch swinging, and Cody Kennon's got a single into center field. Mitchell got there in a hurry. Kennon actually fell around him first, and then the ball got loose, and he's going to try second base and will be there easily. Boy, that's tough right there. I don't know if that's on Holt or Adams. Mitchell missed the cut.
No, I just think Mitchell missed everybody.
Yeah, he did. Thread the needle.
And Pettigrew wasn't expecting it. He got a late jump getting over there, and it actually worked out on their favor, which
a single and a one-base error.
Well, he's giving third. He's going to say that Pettigrew got in his way, that he fell and tripped him, that Pettigrew tripped him.
Now, that I don't agree with. If he would have said that ball got into the...
He's saying it got in the dugout?
Maybe so. I don't think he did trip him, but I may be wrong on that. So over to third we go.
I don't think... I mean, it came out over here, right? It didn't go anywhere, so...
That's got to be the call. Wow.
It had to be that he ran into Pettigrew or something.
Well, here's Carnes. Got to regroup with the man on third, and first pitch swinging from Blacklaw is fouled out of play up top. Well, Panthers in business here in the top of the fourth.
You didn't hear anything from Greenwood, so whatever it was, they agreed with it.
True.
And they're going to concede. They're going to go back and just let this run score. If the hit allows that to happen, you hope that Carnes can get an out here and do it himself. But, if they can end this inning 3-2, they're going to be happy.
0-2 now. Carnes a nasty little breaking ball to Blacklaw. Got him swinging. We'll take a strikeout, Key. There's one down. 1-2, second strikeout for Carnes.
Yeah, and Carnes need to do this again.
First baseman, number 27, Drake Carden.
Here's Drake Carden, their first baseman. Walked his first time up.
I thought the runner tripped over the bag.
I did too.
So I don't know if something happened after that or between that. I didn't see it going to. There's no way it could have went into the dugout. The angle it was, could it?
Called strike. I don't think so. I think now he tripped and kind of scampered back, and then maybe Pettigrew got in his way as he tried to gear back up a second.
Yes.
That might have been what it was. Here's the 0-1. Over but low, 1-1. It looked good.
Instead of watching the real game, I'm going to look over Holland's shoulder and just watch it on all the. You talk about a setup.
Yeah. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 1-2 now to Carden. Right-handed bat. Carnes trying to settle in. A ton of fly ball outs so far today for Carnes. Just missed outside Black. Whew.
Yeah, and you can tell I like looking at it from this angle because you could tell it was outside. Housley did all he could do to make that thing look.
Yep. 2-2.
But I'm with Brewer. You think you ought to get those at home,
right? And just missed there. They asked if he swung. He checked it up. Full count now.
Well, you got to remember, you can't tell Brewer a secret because he's going to tell the umpires because he's not afraid to talk to them. So, he let Paul have it between innings about him missing that.
Here's a chopper to short. Harrison gets it on two bounces. A throw over. Nice pick from Pettigrew. But the run will score on the RBI ground out by Drake.
That actually hit in the grass. I'm not sure Harrison didn't mean to spike that and give him a big hop. Like gave him a true hop instead of it short hopping him. I'm pretty sure, didn't that bounce off the grass?
It looked like it.
So I'm pretty sure Harrison probably just spiked it on purpose so he could get more speed on it. Anytime you throw for speed, you can get it low when you hold on to it. So I'm going to guess that Harrison spiked it on purpose.
That one's in there low to Caleb Harbison, who's their pitcher now, ball one.
Now, I know it's 3-2. We said if you can get through this inning with a leadoff guy getting to third base, that's fine. Greenwood still got to score more runs. You can't think that 3-2 is going to be the final score.
No. That's in there for a called strike, 1-1. Keith, we went, let's see, this is the fourth inning. We went 3 1/3 innings before Carnes got his first ground ball out. Everything was fly ball outs or a walk or an error or a hit. Amazing. 2-1 now to Harbison. In the dirt, 3-1.
Well, he's been very effective because we've never seen him this wild.
No.
And I guarantee they weren't expecting this. He's already at 70-plus pitches.
Wow.
And here it is, the fourth inning.
When he walked him. So they'll go to the bottom of their order now. The 9-hole, Miles Miller, who walked and scored a run in the third. Carnes just take a deep breath, settle in here, and take care of business.
And your first option, you got either Mitchell or Hunter. Mitchell, they've seen him. I don't know. Did he pitch two? He pitched 2 innings, so I know they got at least 6 or 7 guys that have seen Mitchell. And then Hunter's been, he'll throw 6 strikes in a row and then may throw 6 balls in a row. And he's got to get his to where he can control what he's doing on the mound a little bit more. Those are your 2 options that, Coach, whenever he's done with Carnes, those 2 guys are going to finish this up.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction since 1978. Licensed and insured, 479-831-9309. Ronnie, a 1972 graduate of Greenwood High School, member of that 72 state finals team here for the Bulldogs. Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction, 831-9309. And Midwest Mariucci. Appreciate all their sponsors, all the help they do to help with the broadcast. Midwest Mariucci getting a new Blackstone. How do they call it?
Blackstones, yes.
Yummy.
So you don't think I'm just making up numbers. Carnes has 45 innings, and he has 11 walks, and Hunter has 17 innings and 22 walks.
Yeah.
Twice. It's just, that's what I've seen watching this year. And either one of these guys you could put in, and when they're on, I don't think there's anybody better. There's people as good. Kennan's as good. But when Carnes, Kennan, Hunter, Mitchell, when those guys are on, you can't beat them.
Here's a chopper just foul outside third base. Bashir will come grabbing. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Miller. I'll tell you what, Keith, in the last 2 outings for Hunter over at Alma, he was magnificent and came in and closing those games out.
Yeah, he acted like a closer, too. And that's all we've been waiting on. And maybe with the arm problem and the leg problem, maybe it just needed him time to settle in. I'll give him that because he's a heck of a pitcher. He's been doing this for a while.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's Carnes bringing it into Miller for Greenbrier.
Strike.
That's in there for a called strike.
But how many coaches can say that you've got 4 pitchers with good enough stuff that when they're on, they're the hardest to beat? There's a couple in our conference. There's pitchers with, even if their best stuff is on, they're not going to just overwhelm and beat people.
Yeah.
Greenwood's got 4 of them.
Yep, I agree with that. 1-2.
That's a strike.
Carnes wanted it, just missed. Wow.
That's
2-2, and they're on home plate blue a bit.
Well, that to me that was a strike.
I agree. Most of our fielders were running off the field too. Here's the 2-2. There goes the runner, swing and a miss. That time, no problem, no mistake. There is the swing and a miss, and that is the 1-2 third K for Grant Carnes. They scored a run on 1 hit. They left a man on base. And the Bulldogs lead 3-2 now. We go to the bottom of the 4th.
Me and you could be Phil Ellison and Bubba Carpenter if they give us a track man. If they would let us have a track man where they could see exactly where the pitch was and what it was, we could do that good.
Well, here's the deal. We don't need track man like those rookies. We can tell right here.
That's right. We can tell. We'll tell everybody.
I don't need the track man to tell me if it's a ball or a strike. Now, on the flip side of that, I don't care how fast the ball left or what angle. So I want to know where it lands.
Yep. Or the spin rate.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess, the pitcher spin rate deal. But, yeah, I don't need trackman to tell me it's a ball or strike. I know I'm right or wrong or whatever.
Well, and usually Paul's really good, but I'm not going to lie. He's tightened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Those are usually, we've always talked about the one he misses is that outside corner. I remember you and I having this conversation in Greenwood's second home game, and he was here. Those are the ones he missed, was the outside. And that's the one that Carnes relies on, that pitch when he pitches, and he's just not getting it from Paul. And Coach is trying to give it, just trying to nudge him a little bit just to get that pitch.
Right.
Which every good coach is going to. I'm sure Bach's over here chirping and saying the same thing for his pitcher.
Aiden Kennan, Austin Bircher, Austin Mitchell here in the bottom of the 4th. Again, the Bulldogs give up a 1 in the top half, so can they get that run back here and hopefully more in the bottom of the 4th? It will be Mr. Harbison back to work for Greenbrier. He's in relief. Their starter, Garrett Martin, got 2 innings out of him, and that was it. And here it comes to Kennan, reaches out and taps that one foul to the Greenwood dugout. Mitchell, nice play in the hole over there for the Bulldogs, flags it down.
You know, the boys, you just want to see a payday happen. You just want to see you work so hard, you know, during the week, and you wait for Friday to get paid, and you want to see the fruits of their labor come forward with this conference championship tonight.
1-1, swing and a miss from Kennan.
But the thing is, it's up to them. It's not waiting for somebody to beat somebody or so-and-so has to lose to so-and-so. All they have to do is win here.
Here's the 1-2, and it's in the dirt. 2-2 now to Aiden Kennan. If you care, the Razorbacks are losing to Lipscomb right now, 4-3 in the top of the 6th. Yeah. Here's the 2-2 to Kennan.
Nope.
Just missed.
No, he didn't just.
There's a ball. They went around the horn, but Kennan thought, why are they going around the horn? Paul called it a ball. He didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the Paul the Paul that we haven't been getting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That ball was high, and I thought outside. I don't know why they went around the horn or what was said. Kennan grounds this one just foul. Oh, he tried to crawl back in play, but stayed foul.
Wow, that's and the third base umpire's not used to calling that. That's not his call in front of the bag. That's the home plate umpire's call. And he raised his hands quick.
He's saying right now.
He's saying it's my bad.
Yeah, because Paul had it called foul also.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was foul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. 3-2. And that was low, I guess. So he walked him.
You don't have to guess about it. I told you, turn around, look at that. Watch the screen one time, and you watch these pitches, and you'll see it's amazing when you have the angle from the center field camera, and you can tell exactly where that ball lands. Golly, this is better than Sports Center.
Bircher digs in from the right side. 3-2, Greenwood leads on the leadoff walk from Kennan. Here's Bircher 0 for 1 today. Popped out to the second base. Squares the bunt, and the bunt's down to the pitcher. And they'll go to first and get the sacrifice is good, though, for Birch.
Great job getting him in scoring position, playing small ball.
First out, Kennan over to second. Here's Austin Mitchell now. Mitchell had a sac fly RBI to left field his first time up. Harvison up on top for Greenbrier. Came in the third inning. And he'll bring it home. That's over but low for ball 1.
Well, and you got to think right now, you know, you're looking to drive the ball to the right side, hit it behind him, get a base hit, try to score him, at least move him over to third.
That's in there for a called strike.
And see, that's the one that's 50-50. That's one he hasn't been giving, I thought.
I called it from the live stream. It looked like a strike over there.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I was watching the camera that time.
Wow.
Here's the 1-1. That's ripped. Oh, to the third baseman. He gobbled it up and saved. They're going to call him out. He thought he was safe, but at second glance, he got him out.
Well, he hesitated. Aiden hesitated, making sure it was caught. He didn't know for sure if it was caught. Hesitated just enough to where he didn't get back.
So Mitchell lines out to the third baseman, and 5-4 Kennan is out at second. The original call was safe, and then he changed his mind to out. I thought he was going to be out as well, to be honest with you. Well, no hits, no runs, no errors. Bulldogs still lead 3-2 here through 4 innings of baseball. We'll take a quick break on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. Thank you.
6-3 Lipscomb. They Fouch. They brought in Fouch, and he walked 2 and hit another one, and then he was out.
He had one sign of brilliance there for a minute.
I know. Wood's in now.
That's my man. That dude's a dang dog. We welcome you back to Greenwood 5A West Conference Championship game right here. Game 2 of this doubleheader. Winner take all. Greenbrier got game 1 from the Bulldogs 5-3 in extra innings, 8 innings. Bulldogs just needed one win today to clinch and lead 3-2 here as we go to the 5th inning. Grant Carnes back to work. It'll be the top of their order: Flag, Ruby, and Runsick for the Panthers. And Coach Garrett Bach.
Leading off for the Panthers, the catcher, number 20, Paxton Flag.
Now, Paxton Flag, I beg your pardon, leading off. Number 2, or number 20, their catcher. Right-handed bat. And first pitch swinging. This one's in the air. Mitchell got a bad jump on it, but I don't think he's going to worry about it because Adams takes over kind of behind second base in the grass for out number 1. Well done out there. Good communication from everybody. Getting out of the way and letting Adams take over. Here's Ty Ruby now, their left fielder. He's 0 for 2, strikeout, flied out to right, and Carnes brings it into the left-handed batter. Called strike. This one's laced in the air. Mitchell's on his horse back towards the Farmers Bank logo in deep center. Makes the catch, no problem, for out number 2. 3 pitches for Carnes, 2 outs.
Boy, that's always a plus, especially when you're getting up in pitch count and it's in the top of the 5th inning.
By the way, the Lady Bulldogs got Northside the other night, and Tori Howard got another 3-pitch inning. So Hart owes her a couple of steak dinners. Called strike to Jack Runsick, their shortstop. Had a 3-pitch inning against Boonville earlier in the year, game we did for you.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. 0-1. High and tight, 1-1.
You ever seen an immaculate inning in person?
If I did, I don't remember it. I wasn't paying attention if I did. Here's the 1-1. And this one's in the center. Mitchell got to run again, and buddy, he's on his horse, and he will not get there in time. A long run for him. It bounced off the edge of his glove.
He didn't extend all the way, which that's still a hit because you got to credit how far he ran for that. And I think he thought he was there all the way and just missed it by just inches.
And that was Jack Runsick.
Because he'll probably get play of the year. Is it year or the week?
It was, I think it was the week.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, he'll get it. When you see the angle from the camera, the excellent camera work of him going full speed into the fence, it's just amazing.
Well, here's Carnes now, and Carson Zachary, their DH. That one bounced to him. Over to third goes Runsick. Ball 1.
I think you're probably going to see some more fastballs because I don't think Coach will want to take a chance on one of those balls getting by Hosley and scoring a run, the tying run in the 5th inning.
Top of the 5th, 3-2 Greenwood. Winner wins the 5A West. Outright championship. Here's Carnes' 1-0. This one's ripped to Skaggs and left. Wandered a bit, gathers, draws the bead. No problemo. 3 fly ball outs, and Carnes gets it out of a little bit of jam with a double there. And the Bulldogs still lead 3-2. Greenbrier left another man on base. That's 4 for the Panthers. Had 1 hit, so 3 hits on the day. Well, 3-2. Bulldogs lead. We're in the middle of the 5th inning. Tim Terry, Keith Holt. Winner of this will play next Thursday in the state tournament at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Loser will play at 12:30 over in Marion, Arkansas. They're hosting baseball and softball. And also soccer, as a matter of fact, will be over there as well, I believe.
Do you know, is it turf fields? Do you know?
The baseball field is turf. At least the high school field. I don't know if they'll play them all in one location or not.
Well, the softball field would have to be if you have to do one.
Well, I'd like to think so, but we sure couldn't find it over there. I looked on Google Earth for an hour trying to find a softball field with turf, and I couldn't. But I may not have been looking in the right spot.
Man, it takes a little bit to back that up, that data up on Google. You know, so
yeah, I don't know when the picture was actually taken, but it looks like they're Their field was turf over there in baseball. 3-2 is the score. Bulldogs bring the top of the order up here in the fifth inning.
Fifth. Let's go, Greenwood.
Holt has flied out to right field twice here in game 2. And here's the first one. In the air to center field. Center fielder came in, but now he's on his horse back. Did he burn him? Yeah, he did. Got by him. Holt's on his horse. And he's going to run through the stop sign, heading to third. And he is in there. Save! And that ball bings around the Greenwood dugout. I think Doc took a look out there and thought, this is no problem triple. And Brewer thought, let's just go ahead and hold up. And he never looked up to Brewer. Thank God he got in there safe.
Well, I'm on Coach's side and Dawson's side.
Yep,
so
I
you
agree.
teach your players when you go around first, you've got the play in front of you, so you know what you should be able to do.
Yep.
I think what Dawson thought he should do and what Coach thought he should do were two different things.
Right.
But Dawson, in his credit, he did make it. It was a great transfer. That
Yes.
it didn't get far away from the center fielder. He picked it up, hit his cutoff. Cutoff had a quick transfer and made a good throw. It's just, and you saw Coach kind of smile. He was thinking, well, this is, again, you don't make the first out at third. That's
Right.
the rule.
Yes.
But he didn't, so we're good.
Yeah, that's right. And 90 feet away from padding this one-run lead, here's Harrison Adams now. He singled, scored a run, reached on an error. So they hadn't got him out yet, except, I guess, at third base when they caught him stealing.
God, if you're Harrison and you see the infield in, the runner at third, and the guy that's not going to beat you,
Harvison from the stretch now for Greenbrier. There's a rip right to shortstop, and they did the job.
Just hit it right to him.
Boy, that's tough.
God, it is.
Infield was in. I rarely have ever seen that work.
4 foot to the left or 4 foot to the right, and that's a base hit. If it was hit hard enough, that's a base hit.
Well, here's Grant Carnes now. He'll get a chance. He walked his last time up. He struck out to end. Actually, well, not to end. He was out number 2 in the first inning. Strike him out, throw him out. Here's Carnes, a righty-righty. Infield stays in for Greenbrier, and that one's inside to Carnes, ball 1.
And again, you're in the same position. You got a guy that's not going to beat you. I don't think Harrison got as much barrel as he would have liked on that ball.
Carnes gets this one in the air. It's tailing out of play. Hales is in the way. The first base coach, he finally moved. Hopefully they don't say anything about him. You got to get in that box and just stand there.
Well,
Luke.
if they don't want Greenwood to score, they got to let that drop. Because if somebody catches that, Dawson scores pretty easy with them being over there next to the fence all bunched up together.
Yes.
So we'll see after this next couple pitches if it worked out in their favor. But, to me, that was in Greenbrier's favor.
It falls foul, so it's a 1-1 to Carnes. There aren't any coaches' boxes painted out there.
And there shouldn't be. Those coaches should be able to go wherever they want.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I think.
1-1.
Gosh, right
Right
there.
down the middle, called strike. I wonder what the rule actually is on coaches' boxes. Because, it kind of gives you some safety to stand there if a player runs into you. Here's the 1-2. Hit him. And got him on the arm. They're going to give him first base. So Carnes down to first base, hit by the pitch. Still one out, and here comes Brady Pettigrew.
Scotty Holland he's stopping to have Brewer say, look, on the second pitch, you're going to take off and leave early.
Yep. Scott Holland will come in and courtesy run for the pitcher, Carnes. Holland was good speed for the sophomore. I have no idea where he gets that from. I know it's both parents. I have no idea where he gets his speed from. Oh, from his dad. Okay, so Sean's right over my right shoulder, so we'll say from his dad. And here's Pettigrew now. Single, reach on a fielder's choice, rips the first pitch over towards the Greenbrier dugout, strike 1.
Now, and I know Coach is going to watch this again, but I know he's going to get him moving here because with one out, you don't want to have a double play.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a high leg kick, so it should be pretty easy to get a great jump.
Here's the 0-1.
Go. There he
goes. And that's outside in the dirt. Holland's down to second, no problem. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you always tell him second pitch because you expect them to think it's going to be first pitch. So always say on the second pitch.
Pettigrew now with a 2 RBI opportunity as Holland stole the bag over to second. He goes. Holtz at first with a leadoff triple here in the 5th. He's at third, rather. I don't know if I said first. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pettigrew. There you go. In
That's
the air,
another triple.
maybe burnt over the center fielder. He got there in time for this one, makes the catch. That both tags are clean. Holland over to third, and Holt will score the sac fly for Pettigrew, and the Bulldogs get that run back.
Yeah, that was a good job of Pettigrew, just hitting it hard, and the center fielder learned from Dawson's ball. He had already stepped back a little bit. He took a better angle and better route to that ball, but good job of Pettigrew getting that one run in, because sometimes that one run's all you need.
All you need. Leads back to 2 for Greenwood, 4-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Braden Skaggs now. Skaggs had a sac fly RBI in the 3rd, singled and scored a run in the 2nd. And what's the count there? I missed what they called that.
Ball.
And that's a 2-0 now to Skaggs.
When you look at runs, when Holt gets on base, he usually scores. I think he leads the team in runs overall.
Skaggs reaches out and just hits a little flare. The second baseman's there waiting on it. No problem for the Panthers. But the damage was done by the Bulldogs as they got a run across on one hit. 4-2, Bulldogs lead. They left one more on base. They've left 4 here in the nightcap. We've played 5 innings here for the 5A West Conference Championship. Greenwood, Greenbrier, Bulldogs hanging on to a 2-run lead as we drift towards the 6th inning. Greenwood 6 outs away from a conference championship, their first since 2018. We'll thank our Grand Slam sponsors, Freedom Roofing, Mr. Keith Holt, ABC Signs and Printings, Crystal Moore, Adams Health and Wellness, Ty and Laura Adams, J&H Automation Engineering, Richard Hosley, Craig Gigrich, State Farm Insurance, MSG Waste Services, Heath Borum, Scott N. Branton Architects, and Top Notch Roofing. Also want to thank the Carson family, where they love big hits when it comes to Bulldogs baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. When you get in an accident, call Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield, 928-5516, the place to go to get your ride looking right. Duck's Body Shop, 928-5516 over in Mansfield. West Fraser Lumber in Mansfield, proud to support Greenwood Bulldog Athletics. Those are our Grand Slam sponsors for the season, and we'll thank Colton Steakhouse for a pregame meal today as well. I guess they ate all the steaks, so they didn't make their way up here to the broadcast booth. We'll talk about that another night. Here's Greenbrier's chance now, top of the 6th. Carnes back to work for the Bulldogs, and swing and a miss for Cody Kennan. Cody had singled, scored a run in the 4th, and flied out to center in the 2nd. And that's inside, high and tight, 1-1 now to the right-handed batting center fielder for Greenbrier, Cody Kennan. 4-2 Bulldogs lead here, looking for a conference championship. Carnes kicks and fires. This one's fouled back up over the top. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you talk about, he's almost at 90 pitches, but you're talking about 6 outs.
Mm-hmm.
6 outs. 3 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th.
Yep.
And you can go ahead and put that up there on the board. 2023.
Carnes brings it home. Off-speed delivery to Bashir. Nice job running glove side. Speedy runner. Just got him in time over there at first. Bashir had 0 room for error on the transfer. What a play from Weston Bashir.
Yep, great play, great throw, great stretch by Petty.
Yes.
Great pitch by Carnes to get the ground ball.
Absolutely. Like I said, that's only the 2nd ground ball out he's gotten here in this game tonight, in game 2 of this doubleheader. So here's Garrison Blacklaw. He's out in right field now. Started out at third base. On the pitching change, they swapped some players. He's 0 for 2. And maybe 0 for 3 if Carnes can find this ball. It's in foul ground. Carnes gets Hosley out of the way, but couldn't make the play. Grant overran it. It's a foul ball.
Well, and as a coach, you've got your starting right fielder, and you usually you tell your pitcher to stay out of the way at higher levels.
Yep.
But man, you want Carnes to go get that ball. I mean, you want him to call him off and go get it. He just I think he might have looked at Hosley and took his eye off the ball for a second.
0-1.
Strike.
That's in there for a called strike. Now, let me ask you this. A ball that's just straight up like that, that's not what he's seeing out and right. Hosley sees those a lot as they work on that fly ball deal. Maybe an easier catch for a center.
And we'll talk about that after this pitch.
Yeah, or for a catcher. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball upstairs.
Well, I've seen it at University where they've tried to take infielders and make them outfielder. It's a completely different ball. I mean, you've
Right.
seen guys out there, you can't read it. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
different angle, different spin. Yeah, I agree with you. You're probably right on that.
Here's a 1-2. It's outside. 2-2 now to Garrison Blacklaw, their right fielder. 5 outs away from a conference championship. Carnes kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. He got him.
And they're at the bottom of their lineup where they point to where they're at. They're right
Number
here.
7.
So they got to get through 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 to if they can go straight through those guys. 5 more outs.
Yep. 4th strikeout for Carnes.
No, 4 more outs. Sorry.
Yep. And ahead of the count here on Drake Carden, their first baseman, strike 1. He got an RBI ground out and walked. Has this guy here, their first baseman, Carden.
Boy, and you're at that point where you took Kennan out. You're at 95 pitches. You think that if he gets through this inning, will they run Carnes out there? You got 110.
Yep.
Do you run him out there, or do you go ahead and?
That one's laced to center field. Mitchell slipped, but a line ball that just went right to him. Fantastic work from Mitchell. And they go 1, 2, 3 here in the 6th. Bulldogs come to bat 3 outs away from a conference championship. See if we can tack on some more runs before that, though. They lead 4-2 over Greenbrier. It'll be Pashear, Kennan, and Bircher as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Quick break here. Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog, 103.5.
Let's go.
30. No crap.
Come on, something good. 3 outs. You know what I want to do?
What's up, Doctor?
I don't want to just win. I want to score 3 or 4 more runs right here. I want to leave no doubt.
I agree.
Leave no doubt.
Yep. Is this a new pitcher?
6 is the most Greenbrier's given up in a conference game this year. I want to score 7. Yeah, it is. He's a new guy.
This is that 21 again that we saw.
Blacklaw.
Yeah. Yep.
And he is one of their top pitchers. So
Blacklaw pitching.
22 innings, 22 Ks. Well, that's tough for your second best pitcher to be off the team.
See if we can figure out who the third baseman's back to somebody that we have had. No, it's still the same guy. New pitcher for the Panthers. They brought in Garrison Blacklaw back in to pitch. We saw him come in late in game 1. Did a decent job. Trying to see where their other fielding changes were. Same third base, same short, same first. Miles is still at second, so maybe an outfielder that's changed. Can't see those numbers from here. I know who's batting, though. Weston Pashear, the Bulldogs' third baseman. Pashear was hit by a pitch, struck out looking. He's ready to go here in game 2 and make Keith's wishes come true. Tack on some more runs. We looked at strike 1 right down the pipe as we get going here from.
And I'm not saying Greenwood's the only team that works hard and shows up at 6 a.m.
Right. Chopper over the pitcher's head. Tough play. Shortstop gets it on the second base side and gets Weston by a step.
But I guarantee you there's no coach more competitive and more compassionate about their school and town than Brewer. I mean, there's just not. There may be some as competitive and as passionate, but but on all those teams work hard. I mean, there's no doubt you can get on any social media and they lift and they do this and that. Coach doesn't go in there and brag about it. He just does it and says, "Look, I'll show you my product on the field." Wow.
Aiden Kennan now called strike at the
low,
knees.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was too. Kennan's walked and had an RBI single. Ball 1. I waited. See, I'm learning. I'd already marked balls. Luckily, we switched around. I had it marked wrong on my scorebook. This one's in the air and out of play. Foul right side over towards the high school. 1 and 2.
Well, Greenbrier's only chance, they brought their second best pitcher in now because their only chance is to hold us, and they have to get 2 runs in the next inning. So, if we score 3 or 4 more runs, I don't I can't imagine them having the confidence to do that.
Kennan just got a piece of that one, stays 1-2. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Panthers in the top of the 7th inning. Harbison, Miller, Flagg are scheduled to bat for Greenbrier. They're going to need at least 2. Hopefully the Bulldogs can tack on some more. I guess we had a little issue. The foul ball catch the catcher. It did, so they halted play a minute and let him gather his thoughts. And Kennan will dig back in from the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the senior DH. The daddy, here it comes. Outside. 2-2.
Looks like Hunter Houston getting loose. Don't know if he's going to come out to start the next inning or just any sign of first trouble.
That one's into the Greenbrier faithful. Panthers, about a decent little crowd in royal blue. Winner take all here in game 2. Both teams 12-1. Both teams 18-6.
And it doesn't look like he's getting hot. So they may run Carnes out there. Oh, he went for an outside pitch.
Kennan tried to reach out and tap that one, but he strikes out. That's out number 2.
And they may run Carnes back out there and say, look, you've got 2 batters. Let's see how many pitches. You can't start another batter after you hit 110.
Right. Here's Bircher, last chance for the Bulldogs in the 6th. Keith, you want to tack on runs and blow this game open, but you also want to get to that 7th inning, get them 3 outs and end this thing. That's what sometimes it looks like. You see that from either team. It's in whoever's in the lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Sometimes they just get anxious to get that 7th inning.
With momentum, it depends on how the coach spins the momentum. Coach from Greenbrier, after we see a foul ball to the right side, coach from Greenbrier can spin the momentum. Look, we stopped them, we shut them down, we came in and got 3 outs. Let's go, and then it's shifted.
Yep.
And that's why if you score, there's no way you can turn that into we stopped their momentum. And then I think Greenwood puts it away. Even if we just score 1, I think we put it away.
And Bircher's 1-1 is up and falls right down here by the concession stand. 1-2 now. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Greenwood leading 4-2. Of course, I'm from that school too. Had we scored 8 runs here, we could have run rolled them.
I thought you were from Greenwood.
I am from the school of run rule.
Oh.
8 in a lot of runs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Bulldogs right fielder, Austin Bircher. Had a nice game in game 1, 2 for 3, I think. And here comes the pitch.
Well, there's the big hit. It was a timely hit
Yes.
that he had. What inning was that? It was a very timely hit. Here's another one.
Yep, that's to the gap in left center. Get down, ball. Oh, the center field. He dropped it. He sure did. And Bircher's going to go for 2, and he's in there. Ball got loose. Bircher's going to nope. He's going to stay. And I'll tell you what happened. When he went to take off, second base came out and upended his footing a bit. He was going to make third.
He was.
But it's like the starting blocks coming loose on a track meet, and he had to belly up right there. But we'll take it, a double for Birch.
Well, that's twice we've seen the center fielder. I don't know if he left his feet and the ball went in his glove and came out. Yep. And I don't know. You don't know if he's running on his heels and that ball's kind of bouncing and doesn't hit flush in there.
Maybe so.
But that's twice that we've seen it hit in, and Greenwood very rarely gets those kind of breaks.
No doubt. Austin Mitchell will come up now for Greenwood as they do some repairs on second base, and looked like they brought the 3rd division out there from Chaffee. There was 15 guys around that area out there. 2 umps, 4 players, 2 from each team. I seen Scott Holland come out of the dugout.
Well, the umps can't see the hole.
True.
They can't. They need help seeing it. That's what Brewer's there for, because he's going to tell them what to do and how to do it.
That's right.
Isn't that the way it works?
Yeah. Bircher gets a big lead out at second with 2 outs. Blacklaw's up on top, and he will wait on Mitchell at home. Long look to second base. Mitchell asked for time, and it was granted by home plate blue. Yeah, we've got...
Well, again, you see that arm go out. I want to say that they think they know fastball's coming. If you see their hands go between their knees, it's usually off speed.
And they're ripped out to left center. That's going to score a run. Bircher on his horse, no problem. Mitch will come in, and he'll stay at first. But the Bulldogs get that insurance run we've been begging for, and an RBI single.
Huge.
For Mitchell.
Because how can you spin that into any kind of momentum when you bring in your second-best pitcher? Y'all have done okay for the last few innings, and now you give up a run. Basically, you're going up there to take your 3 outs, take second place in the conference, and go home. I hope Coach or Dr. Smith doesn't start stretching to go out there yet. He doesn't need to start stretching just yet.
Oh, yeah. Trophy ceremony will happen right after the game. So if you're watching on the live stream, you stay tuned. We'll see the trophy get hopefully presented to these Greenwood Bulldogs. Here's Doc Holt now with a big triple his last time up, scored a run. He's 1 for 3 here in the nightcap. And hits this one in the air. Guess where? Right side. Well, first baseman's going to try it in foul ground. Makes the catch for out number 3. But a little bit of damage was done as the Bulldogs get a run across. They had 2 hits, and they left 1 on base. Only left 5 runners here in the nightcap. Insurance run, though, 5-2. Bulldogs 3 outs away from a conference championship here in Coach Brandon Brewer's first season as the Bulldogs skipper. Quick break. We'll come back as Carnes back out on the bump to finish this one off. It's Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. Hopefully 30 seconds.
Well, we've got 8 hits. I mean, we've come so far from early in the season.
Yes.
And here's what I like is the body language. Oh, thank you. Okay, we'll talk about our body. I mean, just the confidence. It's not that nobody's panicking.
Right. We welcome you back to Greenwood Bulldogs Baseball Diamond. Lady Bulldogs already with a convincing sweep of the Lady Panthers. They have the 2 seed in next week's state tournament over at Marion. They'll play at 12:30 on Thursday afternoon against the 3 seed from the East. I don't know who that might be yet. Keep an eye on social media, and we'll get you the brackets and the matchups. Bulldogs here 3 outs away, Keith, from a conference championship.
If you were to drive up right now and just get out and look, you wouldn't know this was for a conference championship. There's no anxiety. There's no excitement because the job's not done yet. Hunter's down there just kind of 75% in the bullpen. I love the fact that our kids are just going to take care of business as we see Carnes throw another strike for his 97th pitch.
Caleb Harbison, their pitcher right now. I take that back. I'm not sure where he went to in the field, but he's batting and sends the 0-1 out of play for strike 2.
And if you don't think it's the motivation for Carnes knows his leash is short. He wants to do it himself, kind of like Aiden did earlier.
Yep.
He's going to go at these hitters.
0-2.
Got him.
Just missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
No, it's fun to watch, too. It's just fun to watch 16, 17, 18-year-olds that grow and mature in front of your eyes.
Here's the 1-2 from Grant Carnes.
Got it.
That's it. Boy, just missed on outside black. That's tough. That's been about 70-30, though, today, really.
Well, that's Paul. That's his.
Yep.
That's his hole.
Yep.
Same pitch.
Yep. So, full count. Appreciate him not ringing him up there.
No, and Carnes should know that. He's going to have to make the adjustment,
Yep.
and he's going to have to get more of the plate than he wants right now, but it is what it is. The Greenbrier has to do the same thing.
This guy's walked and flied out to right, and this one's going towards right field again as Burchard takes over, calls everybody off. Out number 1. Bulldogs 2 outs away from a conference championship.
Burchard's another one that early in the year struggled at the plate.
Yes.
And it was like, does he have a spot in the lineup? And he's worked his way into being a very productive. You and I've talked about, you have to be good top to bottom.
Yep.
Our bottom has come light years.
Yes, and that's a great point, Keith. We don't talk about Burchard enough, I don't think. Here's Miles Miller, their second baseman, and a called strike to the right-handed batting second baseman. He's walked and scored a run. He struck out in the 4th.
74 strikes or 34 strikes? Is it 70% 4 or?
I was just waiting for you to ask me, is that one's fouled straight back? I would say 70% of that he's called a ball.
Okay, so it's 70% a ball there,
Yes.
30%.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
I agree with that.
0-2 to Miles Miller. Top of the order on deck. Carnes wanting to come get this second out. Swing and a miss. He got him.
105. So this will be his last batter right here.
5th strikeout for Carnes, and hopefully his last batter of the ball game if he can get their leadoff. Paxton Flagg, he's their catcher. Flied out to short, flied out to left, flied out to center. 0 for 3.
Now, none of these players have won a conference championship. Do you dogpile after we get this out?
Man, I think, well, again, that's the swag of Coach Brewer. What do you think? Is that what we're asking for? We're looking for state titles? I mean,
I think
I might.
I think you moved the expectations when you just wanted to make state, and now
the 1-0 is a little bit low.
Don't
2-0.
do this to him. He's at 107. I mean, he can finish this batter and go above 110, but you want him to finish it.
Here's the 2-0.
That's a strike.
Called it low.
Come on.
3-0. Ty Ruby on deck, the crafty little left-handed bat. And Carnes, he come with a strike? He did. He just kind of threw that one over almost underhanded.
Here's the thing. He can't start another batter after this pitch. This has to be his last pitch.
3-1. And it's ripped to left, and it's going to be a base hit. So, a 2-out rally has begun here for these Panthers. They're not going to go away quietly, and that'll be all for Grant Carnes. What a performance tonight. 5 strikeouts. He scattered,
3 hits.
3 or 4, yeah.
3 hits, 4 walks. That was what was uncharacteristic of Carnes is the 4 walks.
Right.
He hardly ever does that. And he wasn't – anytime a pitcher cannot have your best stuff and still be as effective as he was today, that's an excellent – that's more impressive than when you're on and you've got your best stuff to me.
Agreed. And a standing ovation for the sophomore. Here comes Triple H in to try to seal the deal and get this final out, and they'll let Carnes – will just stay in the dugout, and Bircher and Mitchell and Skaggs will continue manning the outfield. Pitching change, Triple H coming in to seal the deal for the Bulldogs. Panthers have a runner on first. They need 3 runs to extend this game. Bulldogs just need 1 more out. It's their number 2 hole. Ty Ruby coming up. And we'll keep it right here as Triple H gets loose.
Well, and all this does is I know what Dr. Smith's going to say. Now he expects one of these conference championships every year. I mean, if you get it in your first year, I mean, right?
Right.
We're going to have to make a change if it doesn't happen every year.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
And, we talked about there was not a lot of depth in the conference. I mean, the bottom of the conference didn't have any pitch in the top. That it's like all the pitching went to the top of the conference. And you got to give it to Russellville and Van Buren fighting it out for 4th place today because both of it was 9-9 at one point.
Yeah.
And that tells you right there. What was the first game was 1-1 in the 7th inning?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it was?
When we got to the 7th here, yeah.
So, I mean, it's hard to do it when you don't have pitching and you have to rely on hitting alone.
Well, they made a liar of me as Carnes does come back in and go to right field. Bircher goes to left and Skaggs comes out. Yeah.
Well, again, we've watched Hunter grow as a pitcher, throwing strikes. He doesn't have to do too much. All he's got to do is let it work. 3 runs are a lot of runs when you have 2 outs and you're playing for a conference championship. It's a lot of pressure. Where we at, point your pin to where we're at? We're at the 2nd hole. That's the toughest part for Hunter is facing 2, 3, and 4, who they have 3 of the best hitters at the top of their lineup. Especially to me, this is one of their best hitters.
Right. Now, and he's due, unfortunately. He's 0 for 3 right now with a couple flyouts and a strikeout. Let's see if Hunter can bring something in there to this left-handed batting left fielder, Ty Ruby. Here's Triple H. Outside ball 1. Hunter up on top and comes inside. Called strike on the inside black. Ruby kind of jumped out of the way, but crowding the plate a bit. It's a good pitch under the hands there.
Gosh, those darn lefties put that back leg, right there close to the plate.
Here's the 1-1. Just missed low.
And I hope somebody told Hunter he's not going to get much of the corners. He's going to have to literally paint the black.
Unfortunately, yep. Here's the 2-1 now to Ty Ruby. Chopped foul, 2-2 now. 1 strike away from a conference championship. Runner at first is Paxton Flagg, who singled with 2 outs. I'm not sure if they pinch ran for him or not.
It looks like they did.
Courtesy runner, yes. And that hit him. That's the last thing we needed was a hit by a pitch.
Especially with 2 strikes.
And the tying run comes to the plate now, and Jack Runsick.
One of their best hitters. Runcic have any? We have their we don't have their how many home runs they have, do we?
I don't know if it's on our sheet or not. Runcic's double today, reached on an air, flied out to the left here in game 2. Tying run at the plate.
Yeah, 326 hitter.
Mm-hmm. Houston
18 hits.
kicks and fires. That one got away from Hosley. Runners are going to move up. He's going to try to throw to third, but not in time. And so now runs 3 and 4 are at second and third. And Houston just needs to take a deep breath and bring a strike in here to Runcic. Never easy. Here it comes. Called strike.
No, and you tell the infielders you don't even think of the run.
No.
Those runs, you worry about the ball, the play now. You got Bashir guarding the line for no doubles. Oh,
Way outside. That comes to the backstop. But a fortuitous bounce. Hosley had a chance to go to second maybe to get that runner who'd scampered way off. And I think he saw that and he lost a grip on the ball. And he luckily got back to it. So no harm, no foul. It's 2 balls, 1 strike.
You very rarely see that ball bounce back as far as it did.
Right.
And that's why the runner, he turned around fast because Hosley got to it so quickly.
Yep. But the runner at second did not get a good turnaround as quick. Well, obviously farther away. But here's a 2-1 from Hunter Houston. Chopper to Bashir. He'll field it in fair territory across the diamond. Couldn't dig it out as it bounces. I think he might have beat the throw anyway, Keith, and a run scores.
It's still an error. I mean, he step, and he was. I don't know if he was thinking about it too much, but he's got to just throw that ball or do what Harrison did earlier. Give him a long hop to work with.
Now, oddly enough, Ruby stayed or the courtesy runner stayed at second that time. Very strange. Here's Houston now in there, called strike to Carson Zachary.
What makes those extra runs they scored?
Yes, for sure that one. It's 5-3 now. Go ahead runs the plate. 2 outs. Hunter Houston in trying to close the deal. Checks the runner at second, comes home. Plunked him. Bases loaded. Oh, boy. And here's Cody Kennan now, their center fielder. He's grounded out. He singled, scored a run, flied out to center, and Brewer's going to come in and get Mitchie out of center field. And so Houston couldn't close the deal. Got 1 strike away to no avail. So they'll change pitchers. It's going to be Austin Mitchell. We'll see who comes out. Skaggs going to go back out to the field now.
And those 2 on base are Hunters, so that would put it. That would tie it.
Yep.
So
all 3 on base are his, right? Plunk 2 and reach on an error.
Bases loaded.
Yeah, they are loaded. One of them's the error out at second base. So Mitchell going to come in and try to get it done again. Of course, Mitchell came in and got the loss in game 1.
And who do you have up?
Is their Cody Kennan, their center fielder, number 8. He's 1 for 3 here in the nightcap. Scored a run, singled in the 4th.
Kennan, 345 hitter, 55 at bats, 15 runs, 15 hits, 11 RBIs. Only 4 walks. Out of all the guys, so here's what you're going to get from Kennan is you're going to get him swinging. He only has 12 strikeouts, so he's going to be a contact hitter. Only with 4 walks, he expands his zone. He's going to put the ball in play. So what you do is you hope that it's to one of our guys and not somewhere in a hole or down the line or in a gap. But I'd be shocked if he didn't put it in play somewhere.
Lady Bulldogs soccer beats Alma over there, so a sweep here of the soccer over on the pitch at Smith Robinson. So they'll qualify for state. The boys need a win at Greenbrier later on this week and get their ticket punched or get some help from other teams, but like to go down there and win. That's over in Marion as well, right? The soccer state tournament? Good. Oh, in Jonesboro. Yeah, Valley View, correct. Well, here's Cody Kennan. A chance to make some hay here for the Panthers. A base hit ties this up. What was it?
He's running for 7. Somebody running for 7.
They got a pinch runner in for Carson over there at first base, number 4. And that is Caleb Aich. Strike called. First one in from Mitchell to Cody Kennan.
And the good news is Greenbrier can't walk it off. I mean, no matter what happens, Greenwood gets another shot at it.
True. Mitchell up on top. Bases loaded. 0-1. Just missed upstairs. 1-1.
Does Paul realize where he's at?
Adams, Carnes, Pettigrew if we have to go to the 7th, just so you know. Hopefully we don't. Mitchell can get it done right here. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kennan. Almost hit him, and I can't believe he got out of the way of that ball. It was an off-speed delivery that would have been gently off his back and made it a 1-run game.
Wow.
We'll take it. 2-1 now.
Just throw fastballs.
Here's Mitchell up on top, and that's foul right back at us. Greenwood again down to the final strike for a conference championship. We saw Hunter Houston in this spot.
Now throw your slider on the outer half. But throw it hard. What happens is he starts guiding it. When he guides it, he pushes it towards the batter. If he'll throw this pitch really hard, that slider, he'll swing and miss.
Deuce is wild.
Ah!
Just missed on the outside black. And Hosley jumps up. He thought he had it for a strike 3. Greenwood crowd is hot. Full count. Let's see if Mitchell can bring in one. Unfortunately, it looks like it's kind of split the plate, and hopefully Kennan doesn't do something with it. This one's in the air to center field. Bircher waits. Ball game and a conference championship for the Greenwood Bulldogs. Outright 13-1 in Brandon Brewer's first season at the helm as a Bulldog skipper. And the boys trying to assimilate some sort of dog pile out in center field. I think they thought against it. Fantastic ball game here. Tip your hat to these Panthers who fought to the bitter end, literally. But the Bulldogs take game 2, 5-3. Whew. High drama, Keith. Good
It's
time.
never easy. Your first one shouldn't be easy. I mean, he had to be out there sweating and stuff. If you don't want to spoil Brewer in his first year and make it easy. So, you know, everything Greenwood does, and we've talked about it, they build on it. It'll get them better. Whatever happened here in this game will make them better in the state tournament because they'll learn from it. They'll make adjustments. And that's if they don't do anything, they're very adamant about us improving every practice, every day. And they'll be a better team when you see them next Thursday at 3:30.
Carnes gets the win here, a save. I guess Mitchell would end up getting the save here today. So Carnes goes to 8-0. For Mitchell, it's his 7th save on the year. And Dustin Smith, the director of athletics for Greenwood High School, the good doctor, has meandered out into the infield turf, and he will get to present the conference championship plaque to Coach Brandon Brewer and his Bulldogs, who in his first season have made their way through the 5A West at a 13-1 clip. They finished 19-6. Not finished. They're 19-6 in the regular season, and they finished conference as the number 1 seed, 13-1. The Greenbrier Panthers 18-7 now, 12-2 in conference.
When you saw the coaches point to the wall, you know, under that 2018 is now going to say 2023, and it's a testament to the work. And like I said, you can take a deep breath. All the parents that got up and drove their kids to 6 a.m. practices, and the time and effort, you know, it paid off. And I'm very proud of this the staff and these kids.
Yeah, and really, heroes were just scattered throughout the second game here, Keith. We had, I think, 7 hits. I think they were from 7 different people. Mitchell had one. Bircher had a hit. Kennan had a hit. Skaggs had 1 hit. Pettigrew had a hit. Adams had a hit. And Doc had a hit. Amazing.
But and they've done that all year.
Yes, right.
They've not been one person that you know you can say, well, that guy. They all led. All the guys have led at different times, and you know it's fun to watch them out there. That pitcher it'll remain in infamy. Now, it's not done yet. Now
Right.
You did what you wanted. You got to the state tournament. Now go do something about it.
That's right. So a conference championship for the Greenwood Bulldogs here in baseball.
They're looking for a water bucket to get old Coach Brewer.
Absolutely. I can't believe there wasn't one ready on the fly over there.
He's got to take it. You just got to accept it like Saban.
Yes, that's right. The Bulldogs are the 1 seed. They will play at 3 o'clock next Thursday in Marion as the 1 seed. Sean, do we know who they might get? Do they have the seeding done over the East yet for the other side of the bracket? Don't know for sure. We'll have the game for you right here on the Sports Hog 103.5 and certainly on the live stream at the Greenwood Sports Center. And very nice work for Coach Brewer and his staff getting this conference championship here in season 1 for the Bulldogs. Well, I want to thank Mr. Keith Holt, who drugged me along with him again here this evening as we watch the Bulldogs get this conference title. And congrats to you, your boy out at second base, and big triple earlier in this game. Kind of got things going for the Bulldogs as well. And I know that everybody's going to be excited.
Yeah, and you know, you got to say it that the parents deserve a lot of this credit, because this started years ago when they started travel baseball. Mm-hmm. They get them to practice. The support the Greenwood parents give. I know the kids did all the main work, but the parents also, you know, I'm proud of all the parents. And it may not be just, you know, you see and talk to everybody. They've all got the same goals, every one of them. And I'm proud of the parents, proud of these kids, team effort. Fun to watch. The seniors are setting a great example of how to act, how to train, how to listen, how to be coachable. And it's the little things that win ball games, and just proud of all this whole organization. It's fun to watch.
Well, we're looking at the schedule here. It could be anybody. Batesville, Greene County Tech, Marion, or Searcy all kind of vying for that 2 seed over there. Valley View's leaps and bounds. They've won the East. So they'll get the 4 seed out of the West. But interesting is, not sure who our opponent will be next week in state. But I certainly know that it will be at 3 o'clock on Thursday as Greenwood wins the 1 seed here. Keith, appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Miss Lissa back at the station for making us sound so good. Sean Holland engineered, directed tonight's live stream broadcast. And that's Joey Buffkin out there on the camera well in center field, bringing us the nice pictures thus far. Y'all have live stream for the games this week, or no? Not until state. Next broadcast will be the state tournament. Softball and baseball will be on live stream. Radio only for baseball right now. I'll get with the softball folks to see. And just so you know, if you're wondering, we have to have, if we get to state finals, obviously we can't live stream. So to do the baseball, we have to do those tournament games. So that's why we'd like to have this Homer broadcast on the air if we make a state finals game. And hopefully Bull squads can. But it's been a great spring thus far for the Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs. As they get the 2 seed over in softball, they'll play at 12:30 Thursday in Marion. Greenwood baseball, 3 o'clock. We'll have the broadcast for you right here on the Sports Hog 103.5 and on Greenwood Sports Center live stream. Well, we will call it a night here from Greenwood as the Bulldogs conference champions 2023 outright, as they get the split with Greenbrier here, win the nightcap 5-3, which, by the way, was a score of game 1, 5-3. So 2 great baseball games. And tip my hat to the Greenbrier Panthers and Coach Bach. These guys are gutty and just dogs out there, and look forward to them trying to make a little noise in the state tournament next week, as well as they will be the 2 seed from the 5A West. All right, I'll see y'all in Marion next Thursday for 5A state tournament in baseball, as the Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs will get ready to go over there next week. For Keith Holt, I'm Tim Terry, saying so long from Greenwood, where the Bulldogs win the 2023 5A West Conference Championship here tonight with a nightcap victory over Greenbrier. You've been watching on YouTube, Greenwood Sports Center, and listening on your home for local sports.